Slightly
quite
off
lucky,
topic.
so.
If you are...
This is a mess.
No.
But it's good. I personally like this.
Well, no, it's actually on topic for what we
Off
were
topic,
just...
on topic. Okay, cool.
Off topic, on topic. But like, if you get into an argument with your other half or significant or whatever, and it's going into the late in the night, are you one of those people that like to sort it out there and then, or do you not care and you're happy to leave it to fester until the morning?
No, look, fester.
Yeah.
Bro, both the women I've been in a relationship with will tell you I've got a rule. If there's something that they're not happy about, they have a window of time to address it.
Yeah.
And once the window is closed, it's closed.
Oh, really? So
once the window is closed, it is closed.
What if it's a recurring feeling, though?
That's their problem. If you say, for example, they don't like me liking a girl's picture on Instagram, and they see I've liked a girl's picture on Instagram, they have a 2-day window to tell me.
Is that strict? 2 days?
Yes.
You're like,
Yes. Yeah. 100%.
I guess it's best to
I'm
knock
not
it.
trying to hear something about it. And what we definitely are not doing is arguing about something completely different, and then you reel it back somehow and contort this to me liking a girl's picture on Instagram, which is just like, it's just ridiculous.
Because that's where it could really come to bite.
That's what
like,
I'm saying. Or you stack bare stuff. So I say to you, oh, you didn't do the dishes, and you go, and you roll out a scroll like you're presenting Lord Farquaad. Do you know what I'm saying? That's long. Don't. Do you know what I'm saying? Don't come with don't start freestyling. Do you know what I mean? And Charlie Sloth puts on a beat and then just start going off on like an 8-mile thing. No, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Tell me now. Tell me that as soon as physically possible, provided I'm not working or doing something important, then you can come and tell me. And I'm a fairly reasonable person. I probably don't seem very reasonable, but I'm quite reasonable, believe it or not. Especially in relationships, like people can come to me, tell me their problems, whatever. It's cool. But no, there's no festering. There's I don't believe in that. Like if I'm in a relationship, as far as I'm concerned, we're supposed to be a team. Do you know what I'm saying? So if we're a team, we shouldn't be working against each other. That's how it feels to me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? We shouldn't be trying to score points on each other.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's when it gets toxic because... Like,
I don't have no toxic relationships.
Yeah, well, I have, and like when it gets to that situation, it's exactly how you like foresee it. So that's why I like appreciate you having that rule in place, because like
100%.
if they see something that niggles at them but they don't say anything about it, it just sits inside them, and like later on they might get annoyed at you for something that they shouldn't get annoyed at you about.
Yeah.
You know, like you might have made their tea slightly wrong and it might piss them off, but like they're actually more pissed off at the fact that you did something but they haven't mentioned it yet. So then that's what causes the arguments to get worse. Because
the way that I grew up, with my parents being frustrated at me as a child, but not really at me, at life, I'm super strict on people taking their frustrations out on the people that frustrated them. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you can come home and be like, oh, I had a terrible night at football, but I'm not going to go home and take it out on my girl because football was bad. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't believe in that. Especially when you have this way, you get a lot of men that like beat their girls and that, because somebody will do something to them and they aren't man enough to step up to that person. So they feel like they can't, let's say I foul someone at football and they can't say anything to me at football. So they have to go and take it out on someone else because they ain't saying it to me. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not a fan of that. Just go and address that with the person that's upset you. Don't come and be angry at me. Do you know what I mean? It's one of my biggest bugbears. Is people coming and being pissy with me. So you've ruined my day. And I run businesses, I'm in charge of other people. My mood could throw off certain decisions and I can affect other people's day because you didn't address something with the woman in the nail shop. Address the woman in the nail shop.
Yeah, well, I think it's just people running away from their issues as well, though. Because like I saw a story on, I think it was Facebook is horrible, by the way.
Why do you still have Facebook? Unless you've got cousins in Australia, what if even then? Tell them to get Instagram. Why do you have Facebook?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I just use it for Messenger, and occasionally I see like Joey Swole videos or something on
Joey Swole videos are everywhere. You don't need to be on Facebook. That's not even a. Do you know what I'm saying?
Anyway, I saw a post about...
Anyone in 2023 who's still using Facebook, they need to get their hard drive checked. Facebook's a weirdo place.
It's got a load of like memories from when I was a kid. I don't know if I even have those photos.
What, photos?
Yeah.
You can take them off Facebook, G, and put them in your hard drive. You don't need...
I just can't be fucked. That's the whole process. That's why people have it. Anyway, okay, all right. We'll move on from that. That's not part of the story. But the main thing was I saw a post about a guy who was driving his van and someone got really pissed off with him, followed him to a gas station and had a few choice words for him, basically. And the guy was like, he was trying to come from a place of compassion because he was like, I did nothing in that drive that would piss this person off. And then he went inside. I think it was at like, you know, when you go to like what's it called, the service station.
Yeah.
So he went inside, came back out, and he came back out to a note that said, I'm sorry for how I reacted, like my mum died recently, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I know that's like different to what we were talking about there, but like, you know, people have frustrations because of things that happen in life, and
of course,
like those kind of things, you can't take it out on anyone.
No.
That's just life, just happened to you.
100%.
But then you take it out on other people because you're frustrated. Yeah. Well, this is what I'm saying. Like, there's ways of dealing with it, but like, this is why, like, from circling back to the original question I asked you, when I'm in a relationship and I have any, like, if there's any arguments or qualms between me and the other person, I want to sort it out there and then. I don't want 100%. It to fester. I don't want to wake up the next day and ruin my next day as well.
100%, exactly. 100%.
Like, I want to sort it there and then. Even if I'm not sleeping that night, I know that we've done and dealt with it and we've come up with a resolution.
I'm not even not sleeping.
Yeah.
I'm not going that far.
You're giving her an hour and we fix
got an hour.
There. Yeah.
I want my back rubbed to get me to sleep because I sleep much better when my back gets rubbed. Somebody's rubbing my back. So either you get over yourself or I'm calling your sister wife to come rub. Somebody's rubbing my back. You have to go over this quick because, do you know what I'm saying? And obviously it's on a sliding scale of have I done something heinous. It's not like she's come in and caught me cheating and dicking down some girl and then I'm like, look, you've got an hour to go over this. It's not like that. We're talking about small everyday occurrences. And the thing with that guy at the gas station is like, what if he comes across someone that's also lost them? Like, he's lucky he came across somebody that was of sound mind and body.
Because he could have come across somebody
else. If you come across somebody else who's going through something, now guess what? We're all going through something and now I'm going to react the way I'm going to react. Do you know what I'm saying? That's one of the things like we talk about all the time, the trauma coming from a council estate and this, that and the third. Not all council estates are bad, but you know what I'm saying? You've got a bunch of people that's just all going through shit, all in the same small confined space. So when you bump into someone's shoulder and it should just be a sorry bro, and for me, even for me, I could see it in myself when Mama bumped my shoulder 4 years ago. Even you've seen the change in me, where somebody will hit me with a challenge at football and it'll be a fucking problem. Versus now, when someone hit me with a challenge, it's like, it's all good. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's very, very different from what it was at that time. Do you know what I'm saying? But everyone else is going through stuff too. Do you know what I mean? You can't just, you're not the only person on the planet going through stuff. You know
but then I think that's also like, I feel like how manipulation is born sometimes as well, like emotional manipulation, because like if you're kind of putting your how do I say it, like your kind of bad feelings onto someone who's not like strong enough to kind of, like, you're quite strong-minded, like if someone came to you with like an issue or a problem or something like that, you would be able to be like, well, hang on a sec, let's talk about why this is your issue. Whereas like someone maybe like me a few years ago who's like a little bit more insecure, I would kind of try and shoulder the blame and be like, oh, you know what, maybe that is my bad, and then they can kind of almost manipulate you into thinking like you're the problem even if you're not, kind of thing.
Yeah, like the thing is, people, when like people hear about these relationships, they think it's happened overnight. They think they've told you one thing and you've believed it, but they don't realize it's like someone's chipped away at you small for a long time. And that's where I feel like some of these people are very, very venomous and very deliberate, because for a long time you might have looked at that girl and thought, oh, you know, she didn't do it on purpose. She's not a bad person. No, she's a terrible person. She's a horrible person, because like it was very deliberate what she did. The way that she would address you 6 months in, a year into your relationship, she wouldn't have addressed you in the beginning because you would have seen straight through it. So she's giving you small manipulation first to bring out the big manipulation later. Do you know what I'm saying? Even with my ex, the guy she was with before me, she was telling me he would just pick and pick and pick at every little thing about her, so her confidence was so low. And then by the time you come up to them with the big issues, they just think, it's my fault. Yeah, completely. She was so worn down. She was so like, just everything. Like when I first met her, we'd be having conversations and debates and stuff, and she would make a good point, and she would say a really good point, and be like, but that's probably stupid. And I'd be like, why are you putting yourself down? Why are you putting yourself down? Do you know what I mean? You have to stand up. But honestly, like, it's very like, she wouldn't stand up for herself for anything. For anything. Do you mean if you ordered a pizza that was vegetarian that came with meat, she'd just eat it? Do you know what I mean? Like she wouldn't bring up, she wouldn't nothing. You know, so it's just that person is waiting, not literally waiting, but that person's in a prime position for someone to come in and take some kind of advantage. And manipulation like that is kind of deep rooted, like that. That's hitting her belief systems, because now like she's starting to think, oh, maybe I'm not worthy, or maybe maybe I'm not
what maybe she previously thought she was, so confidence is down. So then when stuff like that happens where you should, it's a natural reaction to be like, well, hang on a sec, I don't eat meat, this is a boundary, they fucked up, I need to call them and get this sorted. They're just like, oh, you know what, it's not worth their time, I'll just do the thing that I shouldn't do. And that's like,
this is why you need friends, like this is why you need to talk to people, get somebody's outside perspective. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll call my friend all the time on PlayStation headset and I'll do something.
That's your therapy session.
And I'll be like, you mad them? Am I moving mad?
Yeah.
Like, you lot are my brethren. You all see things differently. Am I moving mad here? This is what happened. This is how I responded. You man, tell me. Do you know what I'm saying? And then sometimes be like, nah, you moved a bit mad still. Or sometimes be like, nah, you're not moving mad. Nah. Do you know what I mean? Alright, cool. I need some group consensus to let me know what I want. Do you know what I mean? Especially with someone like me that don't have parents, where it's like there's no higher authority to kind of
someone that you can
tell me off. There's nobody to tell me off if I do any bad behaviour. I just do what I want. No one really says anything unless I kind of
bring it to people.
And be like, what you say? Do you know what I mean? So
cool. All right, well.